out ahead if they wanted to expense it all up front and do it themselves. However, we see it as a significant advantage that we save them that capital expense up front. They also get government rebates. They can also, tack on a few dollars to student bills to help cover those costs as well. So we think it works out well for them.
So when we're talking to Spencer about the way that his bill is paid, there are specific parts that are allocated toward housing. And of course it's up to the college's discretion how they would want to allocate that, but it is a possibility that they could allocate some of those costs into housing payments.
A few years ago, Lighting Science Group was really focused on applying this similar model to 24-hour garages in major metropolitan areas. Do you have some benchmarks of how that has worked out as you try to apply it to universities?
So I can tell you qualitatively, I'm not sure if the other guys can tell you quantitatively, but from our discussions with our contact there, what we found is that it has been profitable for them, and it's worked out well for those people that have used Lighting Science to light their garages, because when you have a light that's on 24 hours, these savings are even more exaggerated. And so there is even better incentive in something like a garage for something like this. So Lighting Science has pursued that, and they've had several high-profile garage. They did Arizona State's parking garage, big, 10-story structure, big thing, and sort of that was their big flagship client at the time when they were breaking this deal. I'm not. You may know more about it than I do, but and what they found was that their expense in kind of hunting down all these clients and negotiating the deals was really kind of prohibitive to them. They didn't really have the manpower on the streets to sort of go out and convince people to do this, even though the financials looked good for them and for their partners. And so in our talks with our contact there, we found that he felt we would add significant value in our ability to be mobile and to be out there and do this for them while minimizing their risk of investment in the project.
And just one follow-up question. So what is it wasn't very clear in the plan. What is this, you called it a friendly relationship with LSG. What is the nature of the relationship if they're basically giving you the hardware at cost? What do they get out of this?
Well, the cost that they give it to us at is essentially the same that they would do with any retail outlet. So Home Depot would be the same cost that they'd give it to us. One of their benefits that our contact expressed to us was that they're really struggling to gain market share right now against some of these competitors. I mean, you've got GE and Philips and Sylvania, and so it's really a big added value for them to have their lights featured prominently in some of our nation's educational institutions.
Well, if I could add, college students grow up, move into our own places and whatnot, and maybe college students see maybe college students.
Well, it was one thing that we built into our business model from the beginning was this idea that if you can get brand identification with customers while they're college students, these people are statistically more likely to be high earners later in their lives. And those are people that are going to be building homes and installing LED lights in them, and so they're valuable as customers to snag at that early age and try and stay with them through their lifetime. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw early versions of it, but that's kind of where we started with the LED.
Sorry, I was just kidding. But there was one thing that crossed my mind, and I'm afraid it may be not insignificant. If you're installing these things in garages, it's not very likely that it grows legs and disappears. Now, I don't want to speculate upon our college years, but if this is just the light bulb you screw out of the ceiling, and they're really expensive, have you thought about this? I mean, there's going to be a significant amount of those that disappear, and who bears the cost of that?
We have. So actually, LSG expressed this same problem when installing them in hotels. Hotels were like, we just installed these new high-efficiency light bulbs, and now they're all gone. People would just take them right out of their bathroom. And so when we talked about it, several different ways to do that, and what we felt like was the most successful way to do it was for all of those private area lights in your specific dorm room. Spencer has to sign a letter that says that he accepts his desk You know, when you go into your dorm room, you basically take an inventory and say, I have 1 desk, 2 chairs, 2 beds, and a ceiling fan. And if the ceiling fan is missing, you got to pay for it. So that's one way that schools could hedge themselves a little bit against the loss of their shrinkage, I guess would be the industrial term to that.
I mean, you can ask my RA. There's tons of damages that these dorms take, and they're just dispersed out to students. It's pretty standard. I mean, we owe like $6,000 in ceiling tile damages or something.
They like to punch out the yeah.
I got one more. Just
Sure.
on the initial investment, you pay me back double in 2 years. So I'm out then? I don't get any of the other upside?
We looked at different ways to fund this through equity in different ways. We settled on a loan, looking at friends and family primarily as the most effective way to do this, because there are 4 of us, and if we were to dilute equity in that way for that small amount of money, we felt like it would be more effective to do it.
And you guys don't take any paycheck from me?
That's the plan. This is a business that is all about our time, and so, but also on the other hand, it's really just signing those deals. Once you've signed it, it's not very time intensive at all.
So you may have another job.
Yes.
We're happy to eat what we kill.
Yeah, we want to eat what we kill. So once we get to where we've got cash flow coming in from these deals, we expect to take salary and possibly, we talked about different commission structures off of the number of schools that are signed.
Why limit to universities and colleges as opposed to garages, hospitals, government buildings, things like that?
So basically, what we're looking at in our market is the low-lying fruit. We're looking at mid-size colleges and universities in the United States, of which there are lots, thousands to be exact. And we're trying to kind of stay out of the main spotlight. As far as our targets are concerned, we know that those big government buildings and big corporate headquarters and things are going to be right in the crosshairs of companies like GE and Philips and Sylvania. So what we're trying to do is just sort of stay on the edge there. There's a significant amount of money to be made with these essentially middle market colleges, and if we can, we don't need to sign very many of them to make a significant amount of money. And so we kind of would rather have 10 zebras than 1 elephant. If that makes sense. We're a hunting metaphor. That's right. So we have, yeah, Scott.
Within Texas alone,